whatever you wind up doing is exactly what you should be doing.
And I have not behaved one single day of my life. Not one day of my life have I behaved, and I am fine.
I need your help. I can't tell you what it is. You can never ask me about it later, and we're gonna hurt some people. Whose car are we gonna take?
Another Friday. Happy Friday. All you Medorables out there listening to my show every weekday from noon until 2. This Friday is going to be a very special one. Hello to everybody that's been waiting in the chats. I love you. We are going to do our Friday food segment. I have my phone ready. I have not ordered. I will catch you all up in just a moment about what we're eating this Friday. I do want to say at the very beginning to thank everybody that's tuning into the show every single day and supporting us. I am so stoked that this show seems to be really growing. I see all of you in here every single day. So let's get to it. Let's do our exercises. Let's stretch. Oh, can you do this? I can do that. Can you do that? I can do that. And sometimes I get old. I have to decide how old I'm getting, depending on how well I could stretch. But you know what? You don't have to do any of that. You just got to play with your fingers. You just got to click that thumbs up button. It helps us. I don't know how. Don't ask me to explain it. It's above my pay grade. I do not know. But you're supposed to click the thumbs up each and every show. And it lets other people see it. I don't know. YouTube's generous like that. So please click the thumbs up. The super chat is live. You will see a $sign right below that little community where you guys are all chatting with each other, discussing things, debating things. But if you donate to our super chat, not only do you get your comment read, not only do I say you got a super sticker, but you're going to get kisses from me. Much love from me. It's going to be pinned at the top. I'm going to shout you out throughout the show. It's going to be amazing. So if you can, please donate there. During the super chat, we have our regulars. I love you, my regulars. You're amazing. And then, of course, please become a monthly subscriber. If you want to see the show stay on, then we need to continue making them. That takes money. This is my job. So go to my website, TheNikkiMedoroShow.com, and you can become a monthly Patreon subscriber. And it doesn't take a lot. If just one day, instead of getting a cup of coffee or even going out to eat, you just threw it our way, we can keep the show going. And just think of it that way. And it's awesome. And of course, we do have to say thank you to our exclusive founding sponsor, Steve Moskowitz. He's a tax guy. He will answer any questions you have. He was great yesterday. A bunch of you were asking Steve some questions the first time I had him on, and then he came back on and he answered them in a way that we will understand. He doesn't do it using jargon that we're never going to understand. He will explain whatever tax problem you have and the solution to it. He's been doing it for over 3 decades. So give him a call, 888 Tax Deal or MoskowitzLLP.com. Already have some people in the super chat donating. What? Kung Fu Femmes with a $10 super sticker to start the show. Not only were you the first comment, you were the first super sticker. I love it. I absolutely love it. And then we have RJ Dunn. Let the vacation begin in style. RJ, are you going away for Thanksgiving? I know my kids, I think, I'll be honest with you. And thank you. I can't forget my kisses. Everybody in the super chat. I realized over at Station X, I would be waking up extremely early, as you guys well know, with my other schedule. I was with my daughter in the car yesterday, and I was like, I don't have to take you to school next week. I get to sleep in. And I don't think it's fully hit me how much sleep I'm still missing. So, because I'm in charge of school and all the morning stuff, because hubby gets to go into work. So, yeah, very, very stoked about that. Oh, my, Calvin Wong, $50 super sticker. My goodness. Thank you, Calvin. Mwah. I love you. You're awesome. Thank you. And again, if you guys want to donate to the super chat, you could do super stickers. You can make a comment and I'll read it. So yeah, we're going to do our Friday food segment. I mentioned this yesterday that I have not yet tasted, even though it was released. Who was it? If you're in the chat, remind me of your name. TJ, something with a T, I want to say. Got the Enchirito yesterday and tried it. There were no black olives. But let me show you. Hold on. For those of you that don't remember what an Enchirito is or whatever, this is what it used to look like. Doesn't that look delicious? I'm sure there's some of you like, no, that looks gross. So there's some beans in there. There's some meat, some ooey gooey cheese. My mouth is watering. So what I'm going to do. Oh, good. Kim's here. So Kim, I was showing everybody.
What up, Nikki
Happy
Medoro?
Friday, my love. Happy Friday. So
did the DoorDash guy come? Oh,
no.
there it is.
Okay. That's what it's supposed to look like. So I wanted to wait until you were here. So I'm going to order it because I'm trying to time it out because I want it to be hot. I mean, nobody wants a cold Enchirito.
Can you go back to that picture? Did you see? I love how they do the drip.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about the anticipation of that drip falling is supposed to make me want that more. It's juicy. It's drippy.
All right. I mean, I swear, could I record that, please? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to order it, and I'm going to hope and pray that it comes. I want to have it at the right time. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have it hot and fresh and ooey and gooey so I can get that drip that Kim so lovely explained. But now I'm wondering, oh no, I have to order it. See, this friggin' thing, you got to order it through the app. So that's what I think I need to do. But anyways, we're going to do it. So if anybody wants to,
are you ordering it right now?
I'm trying to while I talk. See how talented I am. So if anybody wants to order it with me, get your phone out and we can all do it together. So view my bag.
Well, while you do the ordering, can I talk a little bit about Elizabeth Holmes? Because I know we're
did it come out yet?
her. No, not yet. The latest is that prosecutors, they're in the hearing, right? Okay. And so the last two headlines were that, yes, her defense has asked for leniency. They want her to serve 18 months in home confinement, which is, come on, you're having a baby. You're going to get to spend 18 months at home with your baby. Not feeling bad for you. Prosecutors say they want her to do 15 years behind bars. The max she could face is 20 years. But the latest is prosecutors saying that Theranos was like a plane crash, that this was a bad deal. And they're saying she has absolutely not been someone who has expressed remorse, and she deserves to sit in jail. So we are waiting. The sentencing hearing is underway.
It's taken forever. It's been going on for like hours, I feel
her defense has really been kind of plan this whole thing out, talking about sentencing guidelines and everything else and all the particulars to it all. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. What do you think she'll get? I'm gonna say
I hope they throw the friggin' book at her. That's what I hope.
If we're guessing, right? And by the way, prosecutors want her to pay about $800 million in restitution. They say she made about $945 million off of this scam.
See, that's why. Send her ass to prison.
She says, "I'm broke. I'm sorry, but I'm broke.
Friggin' bad. You know,
I have no money left. I don't know how you spend that much money, but okay." So I'm going to guess that they're going to make her pay $500 million in restitution and 7 years in prison.
Okay. 5 million, you said?
500.
500 million.
Yeah. Remember, the prosecutors say they want 800 million in restitution.
I think they're going to get the full 800.
Okay.
And I think they're going to give the whole 15.
Oh.
I think they should throw the freaking book at her. And also, I think she was trying to get out of it by getting pregnant again. Now, I'm going to talk about this later on.
Doesn't it seem like it? She's very pregnant. She shows now.
Yeah. Just to let everybody know, I ordered it. Okay. So if you're going to order your Enchirito and order it through the app. And it's going to be, it's going to be a while.
How long?
Well, whatever. They said ETA 12:47. Kind of hungry. But oh well, it's okay.
Okay.
When it comes,
it comes. Bad.
When it comes, it comes. But no, I wanted to talk about this, and we'll get into it as the verdict or the sentence is handed down. But you already have a child. So you already know that there is a risk that you're going to be separated from your child because of what you've done. You have done this. You did this. You weren't out of your right mind. You scammed these people. Then, and I'm not saying you can't have sex, but don't you think that a responsible person would not or would take steps to not get pregnant again because you're a good person and don't want to abandon 2 children? I
mean, that's logical and reasonable, but what if you know that you want a sibling for your child and you're looking at 15 years in lockup? And so perhaps this is the only moment where you can have a sibling for your kid, right? Even though it's going to grow up with a mother in prison, possibly. So maybe she's looking at it thinking, if this, 15 years of my childbearing years are about to be taken away. So this is my only attempt or moment.
Bad.
Yeah.
No, conjugal visits are a thing, aren't they? I mean, is that not a thing anymore? I don't know. But no, I think that she's selfish. I think that she's hoping that her pregnant belly has some sympathy with those that are sentencing her. And so I'm not going to say that's the only reason, but she thinks about herself. And so, we're going to get into this. You guys let me know in the comments if I'm being too harsh, because I say throw the damn book at her. She's got a husband. He can take care of the kids. He can find somebody else to love. She manipulated people. She lied to people. She put people's health at risk, and she knew what she was doing. She's full of it if she's going to try and play that card, but that's what she did. Calvin Wong, plans, plots, schemes. She's crafty. Yes,
she's crafty.
She's crafty. Oh, and I got to call out Tony in San Antonio. Tony, I have amazing taquerias next to me. I eat at those taquerias all of the time. This is not that. Taco Bell, it's not Mexican food. It's fast food, and I'm totally going to eat it. Come on, Tony. You know I love my Taco Bell. But anyways, what was the other one that you just put up? We were talking about it. Well, CJ says, dang, I'm looking at serious jail time. Time to start a family. Who does that? Exactly, CJ. Exactly. Who does that? People that only care about themselves, that only care about their livelihood. And that's what I think is she's so selfish about. And so, I'm not feeling any sympathy for good old Elizabeth Holmes.
Well, I mean, if it isn't looking at the welfare of the child, like if you were really wanting to be a mom or wanting to put the child's interest first, then you wouldn't get pregnant. But if you were looking at your own self-interest and wanting your genes in the gene pool and thinking this is my last chance, and plus it might, get some sympathy for me, then I think it's a very selfish move.
Her lawyer said that Theranos ran more than 8 million blood tests. This is what he was saying today. And it's normal for some to be inaccurate, and that it's an expected part of a laboratory procedure.
Oh, stop it. She was already convicted of 4 counts of fraud. So we already know that she's convicted of wire fraud and conspiracy. We're not redebating the case.
And then he said it's disrespectful of the jury's verdict to say Holmes had conscious disregard of patient safety and contradicts evidence at trial. This proves my point even more. If your attorney is saying all of these things, that means you don't even understand what you did was wrong. And if you don't understand what you did is wrong, bye. Just go away then.
No remorse. Zero remorse.
And so I'm not liking her. I think that, it was dangerous what she did. I think that she used the fact that she was a woman, right? I think she kind of played on people's like, oh, this is a very smart woman and we're going to be diverse. And she ruined the whole argument. And also, it wasn't scientifically possible what she wanted to do and was told that time and time again, and she didn't want to listen to it. What are you doing? Are you lighting a lighter back there? What are you doing?
No, I'm not doing anything.
Sounds like you're lighting, like you're trying to start a fire back there. So I guess this too.
I'm on fire.
What is Kim doing? Let's see. Okay, yeah. All right. So again, my food is on the way. Oh, let's see. Oh, I know. Everybody's going to love my Enchirito. I'm just looking real quickly at the chat room. Nick, join me. Nick DeVilla was saying, I've never had an Enchirito. Looks like that. Have it with me. That's what the Friday food segment, I hope is going to be. And if you have a restaurant, it has to be in the South Bay. It has to be deliverable. So, until Kim gets her camera, then we could do restaurants in Petaluma for us to check them out. But Billy, but I don't have any money. Oh, wait, I lost. Oh, there it is. Sure. So how about a forensic accountant to comb through the numbers and find out where it went. Ooh, maybe we call Steve Moskowitz. I'm sure he knows somebody.
Yeah, he'll find the money.
Right, exactly. He'll totally find it. All right. So we have food on the way. We will get to that when it's delivered. I have a couple other food stories I'll throw in when that arrives. Here's a story that's quite interesting. Let's look a little bit at politics real quickly. Apparently some, not all, some evangelicals may be starting to see through Trump's BS. So apparently this guy, Mike Evans, I actually know Mike Evans, not the same Mike Evans. He was a part of a group of evangelicals who met with Trump at the White House. At one point, gave him an award. He told the Washington Post, Donald Trump cannot save America. He can't even save himself. He says he's done with Trump. He says he used us to win the White House. We had to close our mouths and eyes when he said things that horrified us. I can't do that anymore. But then listen to this other evangelical, Robert Jeffries. He actually was one of the advisors during the 26 campaign. He says, I'm not ready to endorse Trump again. He said the Republican Party is headed toward a civil war that I have no desire or need to be part of. But then he says he'd happily support Trump if he was the nominee. The hypocrisy with certain evangelicals is just rich. It really,
I don't
really
understand.
is.
I don't
know how you can vote for someone like Donald Trump and consider yourself
godly.
Godly or just not a hypocrite. Like you are, they even said it, like we plugged our nose and covered our eyes and voted for him. Well, what does that tell you? That you care more about one thing than the actual person you are electing and what they stand for.
What was that meme I sent you of the wedding picture, the picture of all of the Trump ladies standing together at the wedding, where it said it's the only family where you could be standing next to your mother.
Yes.
Who was cheated on by by your stepmother on the other side of you, who was cheated on by your half sister who's next to you, her mother. It's like, oh yeah, if
Traditional family values, standing between your mom and the chick your dad cheated on your mom with, who is standing next to your half sister, whose mom your dad cheated on with your mom.
Yeah. Family values. That's right.
There you go. So yeah. Carrie Lake still not conceding. County election officials,
Carrie.
All the ballots were counted and voters could go to any polling place, but Carrie Lake is saying, nope. She still is saying that something was wrong. People were waiting for hours. But yeah, election officials say you can go to any county, any polling place. There was no line. They actually had times posted online. Now, you'll remember, I told you this yesterday or the day before. So there was a printer that apparently was printing some of the ballots with too light of ink, which made the tabulators, they couldn't read it very well. And so 17,000 ballots, about that many, were not scanned and were placed in a collection box to be counted by more sophisticated machines. The collection box has come to be known as Box 3. The Republican chair of the County Board of Supervisors in Maricopa County has blamed Kelly Ward and other prominent Republicans for causing the delays and long lines because they told their supporters not to use Box 3. So there's a system in place to prevent any sort of long lines and to get people's votes counted. And so what do people like Lake and others do? They say, no, don't use the safeguards that they have in place when problems arise, because problems arise. Well, Carrie Lake's also found herself in a bit of a problem. She is getting sued by Tom Petty. So let me find the picture.
Did she use his music without permission?
Yes, she did. The Tom Petty estate and our partners were shocked to find out that Tom's song, I Won't Back Down, was stolen and used without permission or license to promote Carrie Lake's failed campaign. This is illegal. We are exploring all of our legal options to stop this unauthorized use and to prohibit future misappropriations of Tom's beloved anthem. Yeah, you can't do that, idiot. You just can't take people's song and play it because it makes people think that Tom Petty supports your campaign. It's his property. You can't just use it any way you see fit, as we know on YouTube. That's why I can't play any damn music any way I want to. Let's see. Lauren Boebert also is declaring victory. Did you see this?
It's not. We don't know yet. And the gap is narrowed between her and the competitor. So
right, it's Adam Frisch. It's too close to call. It's within the recount threshold. What does it tell you when people know, she knows it's heading to a recount and she's already going out there and saying that she won? So let's see.
It means she doesn't care about the will of the people. That she's not a true American because she doesn't respect the process or the voters.
Well, she wants to muddy it up. I already declared victory. And so now when you come out and say that Adam Frisch, if he does, wins, it's going to look like there was, it was rigged or something. So she leads by only, now again, thinking your vote doesn't matter, 551 votes. That's her lead. All right. Let's see, that's it's less than obviously 0.5. It's 0.34. So that's within the margin. It has to be 0.5 or less of the votes to get a recount. Now, Frisch's strong challenge to Boebert surprised many. This is a deeply red congressional district. While Boebert blamed her poor showing on statewide Republicans losing by wide margins, it's their fault. It's their fault. Many observers attributed her lackluster support to voter frustration with the antics and bombastic comments that have made her a household name and grabbed headlines during her first and hopefully only term in Congress. So Boebert's a Bo idiot. And yeah, I don't understand why they just can't win. A bonehead. There you go. Yeah. Why you can't just win on your own merits? Why does your loss have to be, the system was rigged, there was election fraud? Why does it have to be that? Be an adult, understand that you are responsible for what you say, what you do, and how people respond to it. And so if you lose, you have to be like, okay, I'm gonna talk to the people. I'm gonna figure out where I went wrong. Those sorts of things. It doesn't always have to be, if I lost, they cheated. It's immature, and it doesn't honestly hold water. That play in the playbook is getting old and tired. Oh no! When did this happen? Oh shoot!
No,
he conceded.
Really? I have to look that up.
I'm so upset. Oh, we have to deal with her nonsense? That sucks. Yeah. And I know Tom Petty is dead. But the estate,
CNN
obviously
reporting the Democrat is conceding to Lauren Boebert in a tight Colorado House race. And I don't know, but Democrat Adam Frisch, they say, announced Friday he had called Representative Lauren Boebert and conceded the race for Colorado's 3rd congressional district, even though there will be an automatic recount done by the Colorado Secretary of State's office. Frisch said in a live Facebook speech he did not ask for a recount, doesn't expect the results to change, doesn't want there to be fundraising done for an essentially fruitless cause, he said. He said the likelihood of the recount changing more than a handful of votes is very small. It would be disingenuous and unethical for us or any other group to continue to raise false hope and encourage fundraising for a recount. Now, I don't know what happens because the recount is automatic, if he comes out on top but has already conceded the race, then I'm not sure how it goes.
Well, I think that he would just win. I mean, you can't just say, because he conceded the will of the people is, you know what I mean? Like, unless he's dropping out of the race, he doesn't think. I think he's trying to be the bigger person, right? He's trying to say, I might be a surprise, but at this point, I don't see it happening. And so here we go. But I don't think that,
with only 551 votes. That's it. 551.
551. It's so close. And again, people, that's why you have to go vote. If a bunch of people that thought Frisch or Lake or Boebert were going to run away with it just stayed home, look how much of a difference it could have made. Billy says you concede fine and good, but if you win, you take the office. Absolutely. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Lillian, boo, sucks so bad. I can't stand Boebert. Neither can I. And not only that, she's going to act like she won in a landslide. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, she's going to talk like that this is, just, everyone in her district spoke loud and clear that they wanted me. No, they didn't. You barely won and your district is red. You're an asshat. And I'm so disappointed.
She says that A lack of voter enthusiasm for her party's nominees for governor and Senate has caused her race to be much closer than anticipated.
She's an idiot. She's a freaking idiot. I think we need Lauren Boebert to be the face of the repugnant party. She is. John Slade goes on to write in, Boebert will just add more crazy. Yes. And the thing is, with MTG and Boebert still there, they're both still there. Like, can you believe this? Can you believe that they're both... I don't know who lives in their districts, but they're just as dumb. I mean, I just don't get it. Oh, I'm just... But you know what? It does... I think, if anything, it does say that this district, at least it's growing intelligence, right? There's at least a little bit of hope for this district, because I can't believe they continue to elect this woman. And what the hell has she done? But... oh, well, that's what it is. Okay, we have a couple of minutes before Kim's news. Somebody had written in on my Facebook page, if you can believe this, asking if I was going to talk about FTX. When I feel like we've talked about FTX.
Oh, you've covered
not on this
it.
show.
Mm-hmm.
I've covered it. Oh, I have covered it. We had Michael Hiltzik on with the LA Times. But
asked and answered.
Yeah, pretty much. But did you see that Cal has now suspended its naming rights with FTX? I would assume so. And I don't know, and I know we've talked about it, and I know a lot of people have money in cryptocurrency, but how quickly crypto, I use the word quick, even though it'd been around for quite a while, but how quickly it seemed to escalate in popularity and people kind of investing in it to naming rights. I mean, these are huge deals that are made. And for, UC Berkeley to want to make, use the FTX logo. So apparently, and I don't have the picture of it, but photos shared on social media show workers scrubbing off an FTX logo from the turf on California Memorial Stadium, which was formerly renamed FTX Field at California Memorial Stadium. Just what? A little more than a year ago, August of 2021. So the logo still appeared outside Memorial Stadium as of Wednesday. But they're saying that Learfield's Cal Bear Sports property, working in collaboration with Cal Athletics, has suspended the FTX naming rights sponsorship with Cal Athletics. Of course they did. They have no money. They're bankrupt. How are they going to pay? It was a 10-year, $17.5 million field naming deal. Yeah. Where is all that money going to come from? Yeah, I told you. I told you at Station X, and I've told you here, but unfortunately, a lot of people are going to take it in the shorts and then some because of this collapse. It's unfortunate. I mean, we have the tech layoffs. After the news, we'll do a little Elon Musk. I want to play a game as I wait for my food. And I know I heard Mark Thompson saying he wanted to play it, and I'm so glad he didn't, because I was hoping I could play it. It's Who Said It? Elon Musk or Mr. Burns from The Simpsons? And if any of you have already played the game, don't play. But I'm going to give you a quote, and you have to tell me if Elon Musk said it or Mr. Burns said it. And so we'll play that game. We also have, I'll give you some examples of why I love Twitter, and that'll go along with our food segment. Again, we are keeping an eye on the Elizabeth Holmes. We'll travel, some scary travel news and some good travel news from around. Nancy Pelosi is talking about how she has survivor's guilt. Brendan Fraser says he is not a hypocrite, and we'll get into the Me Too movement because Tarana Burke, which is credited for starting the Me Too movement, she was on The View. And I'll play you a couple of clips. R. Kelly's manager is in the news, and of course, TSwift. Totally pissed off. And I would be too. I absolutely would be so mad if I was her, because I'm thinking she's going to have to work a lot harder and longer than she thought she would. But first, let's take a look at some news.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
And this report sponsored by tax attorney Steve Moskowitz at 888 Tax Deal. The nation's attorney general is appointing a special counsel to determine whether criminal charges should be filed against former President Trump. The move by Merrick Garland being made in regards to various Justice Department investigations against Trump. Just this week, he announced another bid for the White House. And Merrick Garland is naming Jack Smith as that special counsel in the Trump case. Smith is a former DOJ Public Integrity Section Chief, Garland praising Smith as a veteran career prosecutor from the Manhattan DA's office in New York City. The founder of failed blood testing startup Theranos is still in court, still waiting to be sentenced. We are following this story. No movement at this point. But of course, a jury in San Jose found Elizabeth Holmes guilty of 4 counts of fraud late last year. So as mentioned, federal prosecutors want the judge to sentence Holmes, who's pregnant, to 15 years in prison and fine her $800 million for duping investors out of hundreds of millions of dollars by falsely claiming she developed a revolutionary blood testing device. Plans to demolish 4 dams on the lower Klamath River in California are moving forward. The Federal Energy Regulatory Commission unanimously voting yesterday to demolish those dams. And the officials are saying it would open up hundreds of miles of salmon habitat, making it the largest dam removal and river restoration project in the world. This project has faced hurdles, but the driving force behind it, native tribes that rely on the Klamath River and salmon for their way of life. And of course, Taylor Swift says it's excruciating for her to watch mistakes happen as Ticketmaster canceled the public on-sale tickets for her upcoming tour. On her Instagram story, Swift said she's extremely protective of her fans, and she was specifically working with Ticketmaster to improve the quality of the fan experience. Ticketmaster did not move forward with the public on-sale of the Swift tour tickets due to what they call an extraordinarily high demand on ticketing systems.
I think it's BS. I really, really do. But you know what? And I'll just mention it now. Her tour isn't very long. And that's what surprises me. Hold on. I had the dates just right here. Oh, here it is. Her tour was going to kick off March 17th and end August 9th.
Yeah,
that's not long.
But didn't they keep adding dates and dates?
Yeah, but I'm sure it's like around the original date. So if there was like a Friday, Saturday, they added a Sunday, I would assume. I don't think she's going to loop back. But, and this is the US tour. I'm assuming she's going to obviously go around the world. But I just think it's too short. You needed to have, and I don't want to make her a slave, but you know why this tour is so popular is because these are all her older songs as well. Remember, she recorded all of her old music because of that lawsuit with that dude that bought all of her music and he was an ass. And so this might be one of the only concert tours where you can hear some of those old songs because she's going to be performing them. And so I think that's why there is such a demand for this concert.
Okay, here's a story. Don't take yourself away. Stay with me here.
Okay.
Elon Musk is being trolled outside Twitter San Francisco headquarters. Tweets from an NBC Bay Area reporter show huge messages being projected onto the side of the building. They were projecting these images last night, calling Musk a variety of insults, including megalomaniac, mediocre man-child, petulant pimple, and a space Karen.
Well, and I think this guy's been doing it. He's an artist and he's been projecting it. It's kind of like a virtual or kind of projection graffiti. And he's been doing this for a while. And I think, Elon Musk is a troll. I think he likes that. I mean, if you follow him on Twitter, the things that he's been writing, he knows he's in on it. I don't know how much he actually cares. I really don't. And we'll get into this more in the next half hour because their livelihoods are being, upended because they've lost their job. But, Marlee Matlin, the actress, she's talking about accessibility. I know on Mark's show, somebody was bringing up, people in third world countries or are facing oppression. This was the way to get their movements out there and the world's attention. And now if you go on Twitter, you don't know what's real or not real. You don't know what's a joke and not joke. You don't know what's a parody account and not a parody account because of all the check marks and all of these things. It's so confusing. And it is dangerous when people anticipate a social media site kind of staying the way it always was.
Well, I'm all for a good message on the side of a building. And this guy, he calls himself projection activist. There's no name.
That's what it was.
Projection activist. And I saw a text earlier come through about Musk emailing Twitter employees to commit to extremely hardcore work or be laid off immediately. Okay. And the text was about, does he not know labor laws? Like, you can't tell people to work that way. Isn't that illegal?
Absolutely. And I'll show some, actually, I'll bring that up in just a moment. But yeah, there was a labor attorney on Twitter. And it's so funny that all this is still happening on Twitter, kind of outlining all the ways that violate the law. But I have a delivery at my door. So
I'll do the spot while you get the food. And this report is sponsored by tax attorney Steve Moskowitz. For more than 30 years, Steve has put his tax knowledge to work for individuals and businesses alike. If you need help with your taxes, you can give Steve a call. It's 888 Tax Deal, or you can catch Steve online at moskowitzllp.com. I am Kim McAllister. It is the Nikki Medoro Show. She is back in the chair.
I am back. Okay.
What do you have there, sister?
Thank you. All right. So it has arrived.
Okay.
All right. Today is the second day it's been made available. I've got my hot sauce from Taco Bell. So if you're just joining us on the Nikki Medoro Show, I am going to do a Friday food segment. And I always loved the Enchirito. Okay. And they discontinued it. And now they're only bringing it back, I think, till the end of the month. So whatever. So I have to get one. So it's little plastic kind of container thingy. Let's take a look. I got it with no onions. Sorry, dude. Oh, my son is homesick and he's so sad that I didn't get a well. I'm sorry.
You only ordered for yourself? Talk about selfish mothering. Oh, I can't believe you.
I forgot until he walked in here. Sorry, Dylan.
You're so funny.
It looks just like it always did. There it is, people.
Oh, I can almost see the drips from here.
Hold on. Dylan, can you bring me a spoon? They didn't give me any utensils.
First you didn't order him anything, and now you want him to get you utensils? Yeah, is that right? Is that what I'm hearing from you?
I'm in the middle of a live segment. Can you hurry? So it smells good. It's very delicious. Did anybody else order one? Thank you, my love. I adore you. Anybody in the thing? Okay.
I'm not seeing anybody joining with you on this.
I have to put some hot sauce on it. So it is cheesy. It looks a little drippy, as Kim McAllister likes to say. My mouth is watering. I will say this. Now, the big question is, did they remember not to put any damn onions in it? Because, oh my God, this is so good. I already know it's going to be delicious.
If Steve Moskowitz would share, Taco Bell should really be a sponsor right now. Ooh, there it is. Drippiness. Look at that.
Yeah, but I don't know if I should shove this whole thing in my mouth. But
you kind of have to get it a little closer to the camera, I think. Oh. Okay. Is it good? You like it?
They put friggin' onions in it. No.
Is that bad?
Karma for not buying me Taco Bell.
My son's like, it's good, but they put onions in it. I can't eat it.
Oh, well, now he will. Just give it to him.
You want this? Yeah, he's not going to eat that.
No?
Here, Matthew, you can have it. I'm very disappointed in Taco Bell. I specifically said no onions. They'll be hearing from my lawyer. Oh, well. But yeah, it does pretty much taste the same. I know, exactly. Hey, Steve. Oh, yeah, I'm so jealous. It's good, though. But the minute I got that crunch.
Such a bummer when you ask for something specifically and then it comes. That's the one problem with having things delivered to your door. It's like you know, to complain or to get it fixed or whatever, it's insurmountable, the effort that you would have to make to get that done. So it's like, oh, well, I'm not having that.
Tony in San Antonio, Taqueria wouldn't put on any onions. I like cooked onions, sauteed onions. Oh, but raw onions, ugh, gross. But whatever. It messed up my order. Serves me right for not getting my son any sort of taco or Taco Bell when he.
It was like a karma just wheeled around and smacked you right in the face.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go get an official, a good one later on. But that was like $3.79. I had talked about put onions on when they started with no onions. They can't be trusted. Oh,
so this could have been a really great moment for Taco Bell. They could have like had free advertising. It could have been a moment for them to shine, but instead they fell flat on their face.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like that. And, I see that little onion right there. I get it. I just don't like it. You know what else is being released? This is a 7-layer nacho fry from Taco Bell.
Nacho fry? Oh, that's French fries in there.
So it's French fries with nacho seasoning on it. That doesn't look good to me. I'm not doing an advertisement for that one, but yeah, I'm disappointed. There's one more food story that I'm going to throw into this little food segment that we're doing. And again, email me, or you could put it in the live chat or whatever. If there's a restaurant that's in the San Jose area that would deliver to me and you want to include and get a shout out and have me try something, let me know. Cause we're going to take ideas to continue doing the segment on Fridays, maybe every Friday. We'll see. Denny's. So you see this shirt right here?
Oh, yeah.
There is something unique about this shirt, Kim. What is unique about this shirt?
That's got a tag on the outside with a QR code on the sleeve.
There's a QR code on the sleeve. So this is a $5.99 t-shirt that Denny's obviously selling that gives you free breakfast every day for a year. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
Wow. Wait, the shirt gives you free breakfast?
So you have to wear the shirt, obviously. So it's called the Everyday Value Tee. Comes with a unique QR code sewn directly onto the shirt to redeem an Everyday Value Slam meal for free every single day for an entire year. This includes 2 eggs, 2 bacon strips or sausage links, as well as 2 buttermilk pancakes, 1 slice of French toast or a biscuit and gravy. The shirt is valued at $2,186 and will be sold for $5.99. Now, here's the catch. There's only 150 shirts being released. It will launch at midnight on November 24th at dinerdrip.com. Speaking of drip, dinerdrip.com. And then it's valid through New Year's Eve 2023. Isn't that a pretty good deal?
$2,000 though for a shirt?
No, it's valued at that because of the free breakfast, but you would only pay $5.99 for the shirt.
Oh, yes. We'll never be able to get one. Those things are going to be toast.
100, yeah. So you have to go to diner, DINER.com on November 24th at midnight. And I guess you could try to buy it there. Somebody in the comments of the story had said it'd be awesome if somebody got it and gave it to like a homeless person.
Yeah. Oh, that would be wonderful. What a great idea.
Because then, they have at least a meal. It's a pretty good meal. Start your day off with a nice big breakfast and there you go.
Since we're talking about food, can I mention that there's a brand new restaurant in Petaluma?
Please.
It's called Acme Burger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
pretty
so
good.
I think there's one in Santa Rosa, there's one in Cotati, and now there's one in Petaluma. They have, unlike fast food meat, very kind of touchy-feely meat, like grass-fed beef and whatever.
Right.
But it's burgers, chicken sandwiches, and what they did, see if I can find it. What they did is they took this this old gas station that had been abandoned for a long time, and they turned it into, they now have tables all around the outside of it. So the inside is really small, if you can see the gas station there.
Oh, yeah.
And it's now a burger place, and it's kind of on a street corner that is in a prominent position, and now it's Acme Burger. So it's kind of exciting. My husband's not a fan. He doesn't like the spices that they use.
Oh, is it too spicy or not spicy enough?
He thinks it's weird spices to put in a hamburger.
Like what, cinnamon? Like what is it? Did he
it's
say?
Just really like peppery and there's whatever blend of spices. I had a chicken sandwich. I thought it was pretty good. But yeah, so this is a new restaurant. It's always exciting to have a new place open up.
I'm disappointed that we left Station X before I was able to try that one salad that you were telling me about that you always ate. And then we don't have it down here. You know which one I'm talking about, right? It's like the green dressing, I think, has it on there or something like that.
Are you talking about the salad in Petaluma?
Yes, there's some place that you go to in Petaluma.
I'll look it up while I'm talking to you.
I think the day we got fired was the day we were talking about it, perhaps. I don't know, or the day before. We were talking about it that week, I think. And you were bigging up this salad. It looks so good.
There's this place in Petaluma called the Lunchette.
Yes, I think that's right. That's right.
It is so good. And they have this salad. It's got I can never say it right. Quinoa and candied almonds, but the dressing on this salad is out of this world. You can get it with chicken or you can get the vegetarian version. It's like a $13 to $15 salad. Oh my God, this is so good. It is hands down my favorite salad.
Oh, I like their logo.
in the history of ever. It is, if you are in the North Bay, it's one of these places where, and I don't know if this is the salad or not. Nope, that's the wrong one. But they serve that too. All their food is really good, and it's very kind of it's kind of a hippie place. Everything's touchy-feely.
It's a little crunchy.
Yeah, it's a little crunchy in there, but man, is their food amazing. Yeah, it's really good. It's called the Lunchette. It's grab and go food. So you just walk in, you grab your salad. They have some tables outside, or you just take it wherever you're going to go. But that quinoa salad, it's called the farro salad.
The farro, that's right, the farro salad, because that's the grain that was in the salad.
You have to try it. Have to. It's a must.
Well, it's only up in Petaluma, a little far for DoorDash and a little far for me to drive up there just for a to-go salad. But if anybody knows of any place that serves something similar, maybe we could do a salad next time. I just don't want any raw onions in it, people. My Lord Almighty. No, thank you. Okay, so that's our Friday food segment. Let's continue to lose our appetite with Twitter, shall we? So you were mentioning the legal problems that Trump might be encountering because of what he's doing. So he sent out, and I know that we've mentioned this, he sent out this message to employees, and he kind of called it this fork in the road type of moment. And I wanted to bring it up. Do I have it? I think I have it. But, here it is. So he says it's a fork in the road, and that the company is going forward, building a breakthrough Twitter 0.0. and succeed in an extremely competitive world. We will need to be extremely hardcore. This will mean working long hours at a high intensity. Only exceptional performance will constitute a passing grade. Twitter will also be much more engineering driven. Design and product management will still be very important and report to me, but those writing great code will constitute the majority of our team and have the greatest sway. And then everyone needed to notify them by 5 o'clock Thursday evening, if they wanted to be on the team and work aggressively and be hardcore, or they would receive 3 months of severance. Well, Lisa Bloom is a trial lawyer that focuses on discrimination, harassment, abuse. And she was talking about all the problems that Elon Musk, that email, that message to workers, could find himself in. So first, she said, under federal and state laws, those with physical or mental disabilities are entitled to reasonable accommodations by their employers. This would include working reasonable hours. And she asked Elon Musk, are you planning a mass layoff for your remaining disabled workers? Next, she says, childcare still overwhelmingly disproportionately impacts female workers, for whom working long hours on a regular basis is often just a hard no. That would be a gender discrimination issue. And then third, those who opt out will get 3 months severance. He promised that by tweet to the thousands of Twitter employees he fired weeks ago, yet it has still not materialized. She says, my clients fired Twitter workers and I intend to enforce that promise. She says workers over 40 get 21 to 45 days to consider releasing claims, which would be part of that severance. Now he's saying just 24 hours. And she basically says it's cruel. The update she gave after this was that HR is telling everyone who will not sign the pledge that they've resigned. Employment law does not work that way. So I don't know if there's going to be lawsuits here. I'm not even quite sure Elon Musk cares. I know he paid $44 billion for the company, but he just bankrupt the damn thing and kind of, I don't know, restructure it. I have no idea what Twitter is going to look like after all of this. But also, speaking of, accessibility and the law, Marlee Matlin, you'll know her. She's an actress, an award-winning actress. She tweeted out, during my 12 years on Twitter, I advocated for diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility on behalf of millions of us who are deaf, hard of hearing, or disabled. This platform has virtually leveled the playing field for all of us, but particularly for people like myself. This space has evolved into a barrier-free game changer. Yet with news of the dismantling of Twitter's accessibility team, I'd like to ask Elon Musk, as someone who has self-identified as having autism spectrum disorder, why would you do this? Is it time to take a stand on principle and pause our accounts until this is rectified? P.S. This is the real me. It's a tough thing for people to wrap their heads around of not having Twitter anymore because of the many different ways it was used. And that sucks. And everybody was thinking it was going to not even be around this morning, but it's still there. We're still refreshing. Find out Elizabeth Holmes sentencing, but I don't think it's going to last for very much longer, at least not the way that it currently is.
So are you talking about Elizabeth Holmes? The latest on that is that prosecutors are saying she should pay $803 million in restitution to victims who invested in Theranos. Defense says, wait a minute. Victims were defrauded out of $44.3 million, not $803 million. She should have to pay far less in restitution. Prosecutors say, yeah, no go. So they're still kind of duking it out in this sentencing hearing, which we're following. And I don't know if it's going to be over by the time we're over, but we'll keep our eye on it.
I don't know what's taking so damn long. I really, really don't. I mean, she's already been found guilty. So let's just stop already. But yeah, we're going to keep, and again, Twitter is a great place for things like this. You have reporters in the courtroom. They're tweeting constantly. That's what I loved about Twitter. And we were just doing a food segment. There was this other, Twitter is who you follow and who you interact with. I follow this guy, Clinton Yates. He's on ESPN. He writes for the Washington Post. He's a writer. And his tweet went viral. This was a while ago, but it got retweeted recently. He wrote, I have a weird confession to make. I love cold food. Like I order hot food and put it in the fridge and eat it cold the next day. It's especially fun with spicy dishes. And it went viral with so many people saying they do it too. He says, I used to cop the 4 wings from carryout, eat one, fridge it, then wake up and polish it off. And then people are mentioning all the food they like cold Chinese, cold spicy curry, pasta, fried chicken, hands down, is way better. I mean, it's good hot, but it's bomb cold. I love chow mein cold. There's a lot of food I like cold. But anyways, it's stuff like that makes me crack up and just kind of builds this community on Twitter, which I wonder if it'll still be around after Elon Musk musks it up, basically. And that sucks. It really, really does. Okay, we have time to play the game. Okay, so let's play a game. Everybody in the live chat can help Kim McAllister, okay? Because Kim, you're going to be the one that answers. You have to tell me, when I give you a quote, who said it? Was it Mr. Burns, the evil guy from The Simpsons, or Elon Musk? Okay, because apparently the way they're talking, very, very similar. All right, you ready?
Okay.
All right, here we go. And everybody in the live chat, you can help her out. Okay, here's the quote. Oppression and harassment are a small price to pay to live in the land of the free. What do you guys think? Was that Mr. Burns or was that Elon Musk?
I'm going to say Elon Musk.
All right. They're not going to give me the answers. Okay, we'll just go through them all and then I'll see how correct you are. All right. The politicians and unelected bureaucrats who stole our liberty should be tarred, feathered, and thrown out of town.
Mr. Burns.
I think that Burns. Okay. I'm not the thief. The government is. Every year, you make hardworking Joes like my reporter friend here pay income taxes.
Musk.
I was going to say Burns. Okay. If there was a way that I could not eat so I could work more, I would not eat.
Oh, that's Musk.
Yeah, I think that's Musk too. I should be able to run over as many kids as I want.
Burns? Oh, well, Tesla. Burns.
Well, Burns? Okay. Yeah. You're like, Tesla? There will be no Mars if we let them take our freedom away. There will be no Mars if
Musk.
we let them. All right. That makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun.
Oh, that's a hard one. I'm going to go Musk again.
Yeah, I was going to lean Burns. I'm trying to remember my Simpsons episodes. I've watched a ton of them. It's been decades, but whatever. Okay, so here's another one. That's my lesson for taking a vacation. Vacations will kill you.
Burns.
All right, let's say Burns. Family, religion, friendship. These are the 3 demons you must slay if you wish to succeed in business.
Burns. I'm going to go Burns.
I was going to say Musk for that one. I was going to say Musk. Okay.
How sad that they're so interchangeable.
Family, religion, friendship. You got to give up those demons. You can't have family, religion, or friendship. All right. Here's another one. Okay. I would tell those people they will get to see their families a lot when we go bankrupt.
Musk.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Two more. If you can take advantage of a situation in some way, it's your duty as an American to do it.
Burns.
I was going to say Trump, but anyway, it's not an option. All right. And then the last one. Morons, pathetic morons in my employ stealing my precious money.
That's Burns.
You think that's Burns? Okay. Everyone have theirs in? Anybody need me to repeat any? Anybody? Okay, well, let's go through them, shall we? Let's see how you did. Okay. Well, you failed. You got a score of 58.
All right. That's a bummer.
So these are the ones you got wrong.
Okay.
Oppression and harassment are a small price to pay to live in the land of the free. You said Musk. That was Burns.
Okay.
The politicians and unelected bureaucrats who stole our liberty should be tarred, feathered, and thrown out of town. You said Musk. That's Burns. I'm not the thief. The government is. Every year you make hardworking Joes like my reporter friend here pay income taxes. You said Musk. That was Burns.
Okay.
Let's see. What other ones did you get wrong? Oh yeah, and you were right about Burns saying if I could not eat it, I wouldn't work more. I would not eat. That was Musk. That was right. I should be able to run over as many kids as they want. You were right. That was Burns. There will be no Mars if they let them take our freedom away. That was Musk. Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun. You said Musk. That was Burns.
Okay.
That's my lesson for taking a vacation. Vacations will kill you. You said Burns. That was Musk that said that.
Wow. Okay.
Family, religion, and friendship, the demons. You were correct. That was Mr. Burns. Let's see. And you got the rest of them right. So you got the, I would tell those people they could see their families when we go bankrupt was Musk. You could take advantage of a situation. It's your duty to do it. That was Burns. And morons, pathetic morons in my employ stealing my precious money was in fact Mr. Burns. So there you go. How'd you guys do? Did you guys do good? Yeah. It just goes to show that we're not dealing with someone necessarily in their right minds, right? I mean, think about it. He's like the evil dude on The Simpsons in many cases. So we'll see. I'm going to miss Twitter the way that it is, but we'll see what it ends up being shortly. Okay, so we have Kim's news coming up. We're keeping an eye on Elizabeth Holmes. I've been debating whether or not to show you this video. And I don't know if anyone's seen it. And I hesitate because it is really brutal. But it's this question of when you go to carnivals or places that aren't specifically amusement parks and people get injured, does it give you pause about going on some of these rides or attractions? Because there was this kid and he fell in Chicago at this place called Navy Pier. Apparently it has like one of those standing, Ferris wheels or whatever.
Yeah.
He did the climbing wall and he fell from it. And it's kind of brutal. He's okay, but I might show you the video. I'm still debating. I have another kind of horror story from another type of amusement park. And this is why, and I love roller coasters. This is why I always hesitate a little bit to go to this type of amusement park because I'm scared something like this is going to happen to me. We have some Disneyland news, snow in the Sierra. We're going to talk about Nancy Pelosi. We'll get to Brendan Fraser, who says his mama didn't raise no hypocrite. R. Kelly's manager is in the news. We have a bunch of stuff coming up. And of course, also touching on TSwift, who is absolutely pissed off, as she should be. But first, let's take a look at some headlines.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
And this report sponsored by tax attorney Steve Moskowitz at 888 Tax Deal. The new special counsel determining whether criminal charges should be filed against former President Trump is speaking out. Jack Smith says he will pursue independent investigations. And he says the pace of these investigations, they won't pause under his watch. Attorney General Merrick Garland appointed Smith to look into whether Trump broke the law by storing White House documents at Mar-a-Lago. The other case involves last year's Capitol riot. House Republicans do not plan to subpoena President Biden as they investigate his son Hunter. That, according to Kentucky Congressman James Comer, he will likely become the House Oversight Committee chairman in the next Congress after Republicans take control of the chamber. Investigators appear to be looking for a motive in the deadly University of Virginia shooting. Christopher Jones is accused of killing 3 UVA students in a shooting on the Charlottesville campus on Sunday night. Relatives say Jones was bullied, but a Virginia State Police spokesperson said yesterday they're not in a position to comment on a motive just yet. There's a milestone coming up in regards to the Waukesha, Wisconsin Christmas parade. There will be a ceremony on Monday to mark 1 year since that attack. Remembrance comes just days after a judge sentenced the parade killer to life in prison without parole. $1 billion worth of fake designer goods have been seized by authorities at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach so far this year. It's a new record for a single year. The most common counterfeit items: clothing, accessories, handbags, of course, wallets, shoes, watches, jewelry, and consumer electronics. And of course, we are following the sentencing hearing for Elizabeth Holmes, who is convicted of...
Okay, hold on. I got a little bit of an update. I got a little bit. So Scott Budman is with
NBC Bay Area.
And he's saying that the judge is going to set a date to determine what Elizabeth Holmes owes at a later date. But he says reasonable total loss to investors is $121 million. So it's not going to happen today, the money part.
But we may find out the prison part. Although if they're setting aside the money part till later, a later date, then I don't know if we're going to get the prison sentence today either.
Scott Budman tweeted, the judge says the guideline calculation is 135 to 168 months. That's about 11 to 14 years. I mean, I say do it. And you guys can let me know in the chat if I'm being harsh, because some people are like, well, what about the fact that she's pregnant? And somebody else said, you know what they do to other women that are pregnant in jail? They let them give birth and then they take the baby, give it to family. Yeah. You go back to prison or jail. I don't know why Elizabeth Holmes should get any sort of special treatment. She defrauded the people. You do the crime, you do the time. Bye, bitch. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, last story. The Department of Justice is opening an investigation now into the botched pre-sale of Taylor Swift tickets. New York Times reporting the DOJ is opening an antitrust investigation officially into whether Live Nation Entertainment abused its power over live music industry. This, of course, coming after Ticketmaster's systems crashed while Swift fans were trying to purchase tickets in pre-sale for her upcoming tour. Although the investigation reportedly predates the botched pre-sale, Live Nation is the owner of Ticketmaster. In a previous statement, Swift said she was assured this issue would not happen when she raised concerns about the ability to handle the demand. And again, now the investigation gets underway. And this report sponsored by tax attorney Steve Moskowitz. For more than 30 years, Steve has put his tax knowledge to work for both individuals and businesses. You can reach Steve at 888-TAX-DEAL or online at moskowitzllp.com, and he's good people. I'm Kim McAllister on The Nikki Medoro Show.
I keep refreshing, hoping that somebody's going to say that they just threw her ass in jail, but no. And we're talking about Elizabeth Holmes. The prosecution is asking for a 15-year sentence for Elizabeth Holmes to prove the ends don't justify the means. That was a minute ago from Scott Budman, just one of many reporters I'm following on the Twitter, right? Which may be going away soon, but this is what we love about it. And so when it's finally announced, I'm bummed that it's not going to be the money. I think that really does send a really big message. But again, that's going to be determined at a later date. Okay, so anybody that knows me, has ever listened to my show, knows I love roller coasters. I love being scared in that way. I love scary movies. Now, My kids, my daughter's gotten the roller coaster bug. My son, he's a little slower on it. He's ridden roller coasters. They've also done this, which I don't know, Kim, if your kids go to camps or something like that, they have those climbing walls all the time. I mean, you'll see them indoor places, outdoor places. And I had said it was Chicago, but this was in Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan. A family has filed a lawsuit against Navy Pier, which is one of these areas. It's a tourist destination. It's got some of these attractions, rides, Ferris wheels, restaurants. It's right by the water. It's gorgeous. Let me see if I could share my screen so you guys can get an idea of exactly what it looks like. So here it is. This is what it looks like, right? It's one of these beautiful places. Okay. And so they bring their kid there. And one of the attractions that's there is a light up climbing wall. Okay. And this couple's 8-year-old son, George, took a turn on the climbing wall. He was given the okay to start climbing. He goes all the way up. Now, according to the lawsuit and to this kind of attraction, the straps are on this auto belay system where it allows you to be secured to the wall, and then it takes slack as you go up, and then as you come down, it slowly lets you down, if that makes sense. If you've ever done it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, George began climbing. He reached the top. And you know what? I'm not gonna show it because as a parent, it's just very disturbing. He goes to the top, and you know, you're a parent, you're videotaping the whole entire thing, gets to the top, and I guess the directions were, you know, just lean back and it'll catch you and it'll send you down. So the kid just jumps off and lands, boom, 24 feet in the air, right on his face. Like, and his leg, he broke his leg, his femur. I can show you, you know what? I'll show you some pictures. I won't show you the video because again,
it's disturbing.
It's just, as a parent, especially,
I'd rather just see the wall so I can visualize what happened there.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the wall's on the left. That's what he climbed up. The lights right there. And so that's him. He's in the hospital. And then let me scroll down a little bit. They had some other pictures. Here we go. Can you see that?
Oh,
so there he is in the hospital. Yeah. And so, you know, he had a broken leg. I'd be pissed. And so there it is. There's another picture of the wall. So you see.
He was supposed to hold on to the rope as you lean back, right? And he just didn't understand and let go of the rope and left off?
Apparently it wasn't even attached. Apparently it wasn't. I don't know I think it's supposed to just be on. So they're saying he wasn't properly secure. They did not properly secure the harness to the wall, and there was no safety net or cushioning, which you should want. So here he is coming out with his dad.
They should have a big thing at the bottom of that climbing wall where like like if you jump out of a window during a fire, how they have the cushion that you land on. They should have that. Exactly. That's kids at an amusement park. These are not professional climbers.
No, they're not. And again, there should be, kind of like we talk about our elections, there should be, you know, redundancies in place just in case. So he was supposed to be lowered to the ground, and instead he fell 24 feet to the concrete. Like there was nothing there. Yeah. So left femur, chin, ankle, pelvis were fractured, concussion, cuts on his face, but he's okay. I mean, the kid's okay, but the next time I see one of those walls, you'll be damn sure I'm going to think twice before going there. And trying it out or putting my kid on one of them. And then there's this guy. A man is suing a popular Australian theme park. He's 25. He's from Queensland. And the place was called Whitewater World. And he's saying that he went on this ride called the Triple Vortex. He says, coming around the third bend on the raft, I'd gone up about 2.5 feet. And then instead of essentially flipping around and coming back down, I fell out of the raft. He said he completely snapped his clavicle after falling from the raft. He says, when I was in the air, I remember making the decision whether to hit my head or my shoulder. He said the park staff were more focused on getting him to sign a non-disclosure agreement than the actual situation. He's like, I was left in the sun while
we'll get you help, but sign here.
Exactly. Right. Now they acknowledge that the incident took place, but they say that obviously that you take these things, these risks into your own hands when you ride these sorts of rides. And this is why water parks, water slides freak me out. Absolutely. I love roller coasters. I love all those sorts of things. But water slides, the variable always is you, right?
Yeah.
Are you holding on to the raft? How do you react to the turn? I always feel like I'm going to fly off the damn thing because I feel like I'm so light. I'm just going to go bye-bye. And there
Somebody
you go.
did. Do you remember when they did a brand new water park slide? And I don't know if it was in the Bay Area, somewhere in California, but they did. It was really high, and it was basically a straight shot all the way down. But apparently they opened it up, and this kid who was rather on the lighter side, right, a small kid who was not, you didn't have a lot of weight pushing him down, came down this thing and flew right off of it, and he did not survive.
No.
And that water park closed down, and I don't think it ever reopened.
Yeah. I mean, I think and not to get graphic here, I think they said he was internally decapitated. Like, I think that's what happened. Yeah. I mean, think about what we're talking about when we go on some of these rides. And then you see these pop-up carnivals, which again, love the rides, but you have to think about, who's, watching the people put these rides together and take them down again, and mistakes can be made, and but that's awful. But that was in Australia.
There's this ride called, I think it's like the Crazy Caterpillar, and it's a little roller coaster. It goes, on bumps up and down, but it goes fast. And it's usually in the middle of the Petaluma Fair.
Okay.
And so it's a normal one, a ride that it comes around when all the, carnivals come.
Okay.
Every so often. Well, someone wasn't paying attention and walked across the tracks as the ride was going and got hit at the Petaluma Fair.
No.
This is a couple years ago. The person had lost a leg, I believe, in this incident. So every time I go to the Petaluma Fair now, or any carnival or fair, I think to myself, these rides, you got to be really careful what you're doing.
Exactly. Jeez.
I don't know if I know people are working hard and they're trying, but I can't help thinking to myself, they're whipping these things together within a couple days' time. And yes, they're experienced at putting them up and taking them down. But they're moving fast. They're trying to get it all up. They're trying to get it all down. They're moving it from place to place. I don't feel the same level of comfort as I do at a place like Disneyland. I just don't.
No. Somebody is asking in the chat, what was the name of the adventure park called? This was in Australia. It was called Whitewater World. So if you're going, it's in Australia if you're heading there. And then the Navy Pier was the place in Michigan where the kid fell off the wall. So you just have to be careful. I love that you mentioned Disneyland though, Kim. Do you know whose birthday it is today?
Mickey?
And Minnie. They have the same birthday, apparently.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's Mickey and Minnie's birthday. And I don't have
guess.
it. Did you see what they added to Disneyland's It's a Small World, which is hands down the worst ride in the entire place?
I love that ride.
Oh, you're
and
so
I love
weird.
it at the holidays when they light up the whole outside and they have a light show.
That's the best part, is looking at it, not going in it.
Sometime when you've been, the wheelchair. Yeah.
Yeah, they added one of these characters with a wheelchair. I don't know, if you hadn't told me, I don't know if I would have noticed. But
you know who would notice? A kid in a wheelchair would notice right away.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So they added that to It's a Small World. I don't think you've ever been more wrong about something. It is the worst ride
okay.
ever.
Listen here. After you've walked around Disneyland all day, your feet are hurting, you're exhausted, it's hot, right? In the Southern California sunshine. You need a moment to just sit down and roll through an air-conditioned area. That boat ride, it's long. It's a long ride.
And it's annoying.
It's longer than most. It's in the air. It's cool in the Small World tunnel. It's a moment. It's a refresh moment.
You go on Pirates of the Caribbean if you need that. That's what you need. I know it's not as long, but it's not as, So that song, by the end, I'm like, let me out. I'm going to swim out of this damn thing. No. Brian, I love It's a Small. See, I don't know. Brian, do you really love It's a Small World, or do you love the memory? Because I feel like It's a Small World, it's gorgeous. Again, Kim, best view, take pictures in front of it. Love it. Don't want to wait in that long line to be driven crazy by that stupid song.
I'm with Murphy.
Small World is my happy, cool place. Pirates of the Caribbean. But so can this. Okay, so Murphy's saying midday Pirates line is too long.
Yeah.
It's a Small World line can be really, really long as well.
Small World is like, yeah, but you see, you're gonna get a long ride, so it's almost worth waiting in the line for that one. Plus, they always have what is it? I don't think they call it Fast Pass anymore, but they always have it so you can get on quicker, and you get like, I'm gonna say it's a 15 minutes where you just get to sit down in the coolness.
No. Being driven crazy. It's like, here's a cool place. I'm going to play this annoying song over and over and over and over and over again. I know some people are like, I'm surprised that I'm in the minority here, but you guys can ride it for me. I will not go on that ride. I have taken my kids on it. It's not as if I'm denying them this experience, but no, if I'm going to wait in the line for anything, it's sure as hell not going to be It's a Small World.
People very, have a lot of strong opinions about the rides at Disneyland.
The canoes. The worst ride is the canoes. Let me do physical labor. Oh, is that where you're like where the Swiss Family Robinson house is? Is that where the canoes are? Is that what you're talking about?
I think so. Yeah, in that area.
I've never done that. I never looked attractive to me. I agree with you, John. Please let me do physical labor in 100-degree weather. No, yeah, I don't want to row. I'm on vacation. What are you talking about? Also after Thanksgiving, when It's a Small World and Pirates switch to Christmas decorations.
It's cool. And it smells in there. They have like, it smells like cinnamon and Christmas cookies. They have scents that they put in. I'm not saying, Nick, that Small World is my favorite. Pirates is also my favorite, my friend. What I'm saying is Small World has its place at Disneyland. Like, it serves a purpose. It's got history. It's got, holiday decor.
It has an annoying song.
And it's a nice place to take a load off and cool off for a few minutes. That's what I'm saying, people. Not my favorite.
All right. It's not my favorite either. So and you know what? Do you? You know what? If you want to, yeah, Murphy. Oh my God, no, the canoes. Who does that? I watch
Ryan,
people do it. By the way, my kid made fart noises through the whole ride 2 years ago. Yeah, I would ride with your kid. I would ride with Brian and his kid. Absolutely. That would make it able for me to sit there. Worst ride is Tarzan's Treehouse. Thankfully, it's being rethemed. I don't think I've done Tarzan's Treehouse. I just went not too long ago. I went in, we go in 2020 or 2021 to Disneyland. I have a kid not listening to me. Gotta remember that one. But we didn't do everything. Haunted Mansion for the win. Yeah. It's a good cool off, but it's most fun late at night. I think when we went on it actually got like stuck for a second. There was like somebody misbehaving, and so they stopped it. But I like that. There's certain rides you can go on just to give your feet a rest. Small World, Pirates of the Caribbean, Animation Academy. I wanted to do that, and we ran out of time.
That's my kid's favorite. And did you know that there's now Animation Academy on Disney Plus, where you can go and they will teach you how to draw things. It's just like the class in California Adventure, and you can sit there with a piece of paper and pencil and learn from the animators how to draw characters. It's great.
That is awesome. That is really cool. I'll have to check that out. If you guys are also looking for something that's not Disney, and it is cool though, Palisades Tahoe open today. Apparently the other mountain has 3 feet of snow.
Former Squaw Valley, right? But we don't call it Squaw Valley anymore.
Say that?
We say Palisades Tahoe.
Palisades Tahoe, yeah.
Well, I think as we get used to the new name on this first season, to remind people, that it's the same place, different name. Don't want to be offensive, but okay.
It's an offensive word, right? I mean, it's supposed to be derogatory towards women or something. We learn new things every single day from people. So apparently they've gotten record snow, so they are opening. Let's see. I'm trying to see. The gondola that will be open. The base-to-base gondola will be open on Saturday, March 17th, and that's the official grand opening. But the upper mountain has 3 feet of snow, so they're opening that area. I am not a skier or a snowboarder. I do not trust my knees, but I like to go sledding and hang out.
That's a bummer, because you used to be that active mom that would go and do anything, and then you had that skateboarding accident.
Well, I had the skateboarding and a bicycle. It's both my knees. It's not, if it was just one, I'd be like, okay, I have a good one. But in all honesty, I want to, work my core, work my quads and all that to maybe try it again. But I wasn't that good with good knees. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was younger and I had 2 very good knees, I was not that good at snowboarding or skiing. So now I'm older with 2 bad knees. I don't know if I want to risk it, because if I have to have another knee surgery, I'm going to sink into the deepest, darkest depression, because that was a pain in the ass. So yeah, no, I don't want to go through that again. I'm going to baby myself.
So it was time on my phone plan to upgrade the phone.
Okay.
And they do it. It's free. They work it into your phone contract type of thing.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I just got this phone and I have switched for the very first time. I used to have a Google Pixel and be an Android phone user. And now in my hot hand, I've got an iPhone.
Your first iPhone?
It is my first iPhone. I had a Station X iPhone a long time ago, but it's been years. And I don't know how to... They just put it in my hand. I don't know. Well, what I'm worried about is the ringer. I don't know how to turn the ringer off on this thing.
But it's on the side. Put there's a little on the side of your phone, sweetie.
When I do that on the island in the middle, it says ringer, but it doesn't tell me how to turn it off. So I don't know.
Or just put the volume down on your phone. That's all. You have volume buttons, right?
Yeah, it looks like it. If it rings, give me a break, people, because I'm learning.
Was that your phone that was...
Yeah, bloop, bloop. Julia's sending me text, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't turn it off.
New phones. Yeah, I need to... I'm in the ecosystem. It's the only phone I've ever had was an iPhone, even though they keep trying to sell me the Androids. I just can't do it. Huge in Japan wrote into Mo. I stayed at Palisades in August. Under $200 a night. That's not going to happen again until May. Because Mo was saying the price of admission has increased again, and only the wealthy can attend. I am finding that is becoming more and more true with all sorts of things nowadays. And I think I've bitched about this on Station X as well. Going bowling. My nieces were in town last week because we had a huge birthday party for my in-laws. And I was like, maybe we'll go bowling or something. And then I thought to myself, that's going to cost me like $500 to take all these kids and adults bowling. Bowling used to be a cheap date night, go have fun. It is so expensive. Now, they've made it fancy. They got all, the drinks and the food and the atmosphere and the lights and, glow in the dark bowling. I would go back to, sticky floors, a handful of bowling balls if it was, $5 again. But apparently it's
I don't know how much it is a game, but I remember the last time thinking we better not play more than one.
One. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You can't just hang out and play all the time because it's way, way too expensive. When we went last winter, we took the kids, we put them in snowboarding lessons. It wasn't too bad, but we got a package. But yeah, I can imagine everything's more expensive these days. And I wouldn't put it past, ski resorts. Every year they're raising their prices. Yeah. Nick says all of his phones have been Android. Sorry, I'm not an Android person at all. Oh, and then the Tarzan thing was the Swiss Family Robinson house. That's what I was thinking of. So somebody had mentioned Tarzan. I hadn't heard of Tarzan. It will always be the Swiss Family Robinson house to me. Tom Sawyer's Island too. Yeah, there was also Tom Island. Yeah. Disneyland is getting way too expensive. I wanted to also consider going to Universal Studios for kind of after Christmas and take my son, because my daughter's going on a special trip with her cousin. And so I looked it up. No, thank you. No.
Have you done Legoland?
No, but I think Legoland's a little too young for my son, don't you?
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he's almost 12.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of missed my little window with Legoland. So no, maybe not to do just shout outs for all sorts of things. Has anyone ever been to the Great Wolf Lodge? I've never done that, but I hear all kinds of ads.
I've heard it's really fun. Speaking of water park, that's based, it's like indoor water slide
yeah.
area.
Yeah. So, and I mean, let's see, the Wild Mouse, Santa Cruz is no longer there. No, the Wild Mouse ride. Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the one at Great America, I think, Jim. They have that crazy cheese one at Great America that was really good. But I feel like they have something at Santa Cruz that is just like it. It's a pretty good ride. Santa Cruz is always an option for me down here in the South Bay to take the kids, but it's not special like Universal Studios. And I haven't been to Universal Studios since I was a kid. So, but again, it's too expensive and the lines are crazy after Christmas, apparently. So I'm not doing any of that. All right, we have a couple of minutes. I did want to... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I just got handed a report card. It's always fun, right?
Oh, no.
Jacob just handed me his report card. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right, go.
Looks all right.
Okay, good. Nothing he talks too much in class, which is what we always get.
Let's see the comments. The comments are always she didn't put a comment on.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
Nothing to report here. We can move right along.
There we go. All right. Okay, so it was more than 5 years ago that the Me Too movement kind of like really was breaking open, even though it had been around, obviously, for a long time. Tarana Burke is the woman credited with starting the Me Too movement, okay? The hashtag Me Too and allowing people to kind of come forward and be believed, mainly women. Well, she was on The View today, and I wanted to play you a couple of clips because I also want to bring in this story about Brendan Fraser. Now, you remember Brendan Fraser? He got that standing ovation. He used to be an Encino Man, you know, the actor. And he's in this movie called The Whale. And he's making this big kind of resurgence into Hollywood because he's had injuries. And he also had his own Me Too movement. So first off, I want to play you a little sound. Now, this is Tarana Burke talking about how much things have changed over the last 5+ years.
5.5 years ago, we couldn't have a sustained national dialogue about sexual violence in this country, right? 5.5 years ago, we very easily elected a president who was a sexual predator.
That's right.
You know, so what Me Too has made possible in this country is much more important than any law that's been passed or any policy that's changed. We have people now who openly and comfortably talk about sexual violence. We have survivors who come forward and talk about trauma that they thought they were going to take to their grave.
And one of those people is Brendan Fraser. Even, you know, he's come out and he's continuing to get support. But the Golden Globes, it airs January 10th on NBC. And Brendan Fraser's up for Best Actor. And he will not be in the audience. He confirmed he will not attend the awards leading up to the Academy Awards. He said to GQ in an interview, "I have more history with the Hollywood Foreign Press Association than I have respect for the Hollywood Foreign Press Association." He says, "It's because of the history that I have with them. And my mother didn't raise a hypocrite. You can call me a lot of things, but not that." So now, if you don't know, the actor alleged back in 2018 that Philip Burke, who was the former president and member of the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, groped and assaulted him at a 2003 luncheon. Fraser revealed that he was still frightened for the repercussions of coming forward. At the time of going public, the HFPA proposed Fraser sign a joint statement saying, quote, "Although it was concluded that Mr. Burke inappropriately touched Mr. Fraser, the evidence supports that it was intended to be taken as a joke and not as a sexual advance." Fraser refused to sign it. Burke did not face disciplinary action. He remained a voting member of the HFPA until he was fired in 2021. That was after the circulation of an article calling Black Lives Matter a, quote, racist hate movement. So that he was held accountable for. And Fraser said, "I knew they would close ranks. I knew they would kick the can down the road. I knew they would get ahead of the story. I knew that I certainly had no future with that system as it was. I think it was because I was too prickly or sharp-edged or icky for people to want to go first and invest emotionally in the situation." Fraser says at the moment, he does not believe there's been progress among the HFPA. He says, "Maybe time will tell if they're going to. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know." And I love that he's being so outspoken about this because, one, we need to know that the Me Too movement, while largely is believing women because they've often not been believed, it's also believing men who have been assaulted and harassed in this way as well. Yeah. Because I do, just before we do the news, I want to play one more clip from Tarana Burke on The View today. It's this idea of what is allowed. Because remember what I just read you about that statement they wanted Fraser to sign? It was meant as a joke. And here again is Tarana Burke kind of talking about this culture that allows this type of stuff to happen.
When you are in a place where people, you know, work environment, where they're like, oh, he's harmless. You know, he's just telling a joke or something like that. He doesn't mean anything like that. But what that does is he may not touch you, but it signals to somebody else in that office that this is a place where this is okay.
Excusable. So rape culture is not necessarily the criminal act.
It's not. That's not the criminal act, but it's a place where we make it okay for the violence to happen. It's permissible culture.
Yeah.
Right?
That's so well said.
And that is important. So we have to undermine that culture, because even if you never lay a hand on somebody, there's somebody who will. And when they see that and they say, well, this is a place where this is okay. It happens in our arts and culture. It happens in movies. It happens in songs. But it also happens in churches.
Exactly. And so we just have to call it out for what it is. I mean, I've been in many environments where, you know, surrounded by men or women, and they make jokes. And while I may not be offended by them, and while you may not be offended by them, other people may be listening, right? And you might not mean anything by it, but the person listening may use that allowance to treat people poorly. And then if you bring in, power distribution and the power dynamic in a workplace, you get situations where people don't feel safe speaking up. And I'm glad there's been progress. Obviously, a lot more progress needs to be done. But I love Brendan Fraser, and I love the fact that he's standing strong and saying, you know what? I have not been nominated for an award in how many years, but I'm not going because Mama didn't raise no hypocrite.
Do you think that in his particular situation, where both parties admit that a grab happened,
right,
that the excuse of I just meant it as a joke should be met with no consequence?
Yes, obviously. Just because you met your intent. Now, I do think intent matters. Context matters. I'm not saying those things don't matter. But when you're talking about a sexual advance, touching another person, I don't give a crap about your intent. You now leave it up to me to interpret what you meant, because you have violated my space and my body. You want to make a joke and say something, I could take intent and context there. Once you touch my physical person, that takes it to a whole nother level, in my opinion. Not saying words don't matter and those can't be, the harassment there and the fear and the pain isn't there with words. But I think that touching somebody, it's just a totally different ballgame.
No, it's inappropriate.
There should be yes,
and it was just a joke. It is not an excuse.
No, then everything would be a joke. Anytime you get in trouble, I was just joking. No, give me a break.
That's not a pass. A joke is not a pass for bad behavior.
Great statement. Absolutely right. Okay. The super chat is live. I haven't been able to give any love yet, so let's give some love right now. Zooey Mama with a $1.99 sticker.
Thank you.
Zooey Mama, you support us almost every day. I absolutely love it. Look at Kevin Hobbs. $23. Kevin. Mwah, 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 mwah. I love it. Thank you. Need to burn $5. Writes in, during the court's recess, Elizabeth Holmes gave birth and is now pregnant again. Pretty funny. I love it. Oh, I got some money for my Enchirito from Northside Service Company. $10 to pay for my Enchirito. I'm going to have to buy another one. They put friggin' onions in it. I said no onions, people. Kirsty with a $10 super sticker. I love you. And let's give some more shout outs. Calvin Wong with a $50 super sticker. You are amazing, wow. Calvin. I am overwhelmed. Thank you. That is awesome. RJ Dunn, $10, beginning vacation in style. And starting us all off today was Kung Fu Femmes, $10 super sticker. I love you all. Mwah. Big kisses to all of you, because as I say.
And I can't deny the fact that you like me right now. You like me.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate everybody's help. The Patreon is up and running. If you want to become a monthly Patreon subscriber, please do that. You can find the link at the NikkiMedoroShow.com. There's also links to the YouTube show to share with your family and friends, which is another way to, help support the show. It doesn't cost you anything but an email, a couple of clicks. Speaking of clicks, let's all exercise our fingers and click that thumbs up button right underneath the screen. YouTube loves it. They love the thumbs up. And so let's do that just right now while we're thinking of it. And when we come back, we'll talk a little TSwift. I have some Hollywood news. That's all coming up. But first, the news.
Now, from around the world to up your street, the Nikki Medoro Show presents News Czar Kim McAllister.
Oh, yeah. This report sponsored by tax attorney Steve Moskowitz at 888 Tax Deal. Just saw a breaking news story pop up on the Cron4 website. There was a shooting in Oakland, a school shooting at this school complex that kind of housed multiple schools. That was on September 28th. At the time, there were several people injured. Well, now today, Oakland police tweeting out a message that one of the victims in the King Estate school shooting there has passed away. Again, 6 people were in that shooting at the school complex in Oakland, and now there is a fatality involved in that shooting. And that will change the charges involved, as many people there, more than one, have been arrested in connection with the shooting. The Trump campaign, no fan of this whole special counsel thing being appointed to investigate 2 investigations involving the former president. A campaign spokesman said the appointment is a totally accepted political stunt. One investigation focuses on whether Trump broke the law by storing White House documents, some of them top secret, at Mar-a-Lago. The other involves last year's Capitol riot. The Biden administration is fighting for its student loan forgiveness plan to go into effect. The plan has been blocked by 2 federal courts during a months-long legal dispute. The administration is now asking the Supreme Court to vacate a decision made this week by a federal appeals court. Still, no word on sentencing for the former CEO of Theranos. Prosecutors right now making their final pitch against Elizabeth Holmes at the federal courthouse in San Jose. That is where Holmes is awaiting her sentence. The former Theranos CEO has already been convicted on 4 counts of wire fraud and conspiracy. As reported by Nikki earlier, we understand that they are putting off the decision on how much restitution she will have to pay. So right now, we're waiting to see whether she'll spend time behind bars. The fallout from this week's Ticketmaster debacle involving Taylor Swift tickets getting the attention of some more high-profile figures. Pennsylvania's governor-elect and the current Attorney General, Josh Shapiro, is asking those having trouble with Ticketmaster's site to contact his office. In Ohio, the Attorney General's office says he's examining a consumer practice statute to determine if there's a legal theory available under Ohio law. They may not just be having federal issues, as the DOJ investigates Nikki. They may be having state issues as state's attorney general look into whether or not that more rules should be applied to what Ticketmaster is allowed to do.
Well, exactly. I mean, and I know that you had this in your news, and Taylor Swift put out this whole statement earlier, kind of saying that she was told that they would be able to handle this, and they weren't. And that makes her look bad. You know, it makes her also have to work longer. I don't know if she wants to tour any longer than she already did. I'm sure dates around the world are there. And when you make a promise for something and then you can't even have it, they couldn't even have a general sale today. What does that tell you? That this was completely botched. And to blame Taylor's popularity for it? Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous. That's just ridiculous.
More layoffs coming to San Francisco, or San Jose this time around. Streaming giant Roku. They're going to lay hundreds of employees, including a large number in San Jose. Roku laying off 200 workers, more than 90 at the tech company's headquarters in the Bay Area. It's estimated the layoffs at Roku will be done by the end of March of next year. At the end of 2021, there were about 3,000 workers employed by Roku around the world. A loss of 200 would be about 6.7% of their total workforce. And I don't know if you're a fan of this series, but HBO is renewing White Lotus for a 3rd season.
I love White Lotus.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to have to check it out.
I haven't watched 2nd season yet, but I watched the 1st season. It's good.
So I don't have HBO, that's why. But the 1st season was set in Hawaii, the 2nd based in Sicily. The 3rd will feature a brand new cast like the previous seasons and will be set in a different location as well.
Okay. Yeah, I only watched the 1st, so I have no take on the 2nd, but obviously it was good if they're bringing it back.
Is Nugget behind you? The story's for Nugget.
No. Nugget is down underneath the table. He's being lazy.
Snoop Dogg has something stylish for all animal-loving fans.
I have pictures. Okay, go.
The rapper launching a pet line called Snoop Doggy Dogs. While the name mentions canines, he also has items designed to fit cats as well. Oh, look at that. Ooh, those are some nice dog bowls. Look at that.
Yeah, look. Okay, so here's a toy. It's a blunt.
It's like a giant doobie.
Yeah, it is. It's a blunt. Yeah, and then they have this, a hat for your dog that has the braids attached
okay.
with braids, and then we have a dog bowl. You know,
That's
I think
bling
that's
right there.
That is bling right there. Yeah. So you apparently, I think, and you tell me since you're doing the story, I think it's like all on Amazon or something like that, right?
The line is available on Amazon, where pet owners can find apparel, toys, accessories, and bowls for their furry friends, all designed by Snoop himself. So it's not like he just lent his name. He actually designed the stuff.
That guy knows how to market himself. I mean, from, being a hip hop rapper back in the day, he and his partnership with Martha Stewart, he did the play-by-play during the Olympics with Kevin Hart. He's a hardworking man. And that's why when he gave this one speech, he was receiving an award. And God, I wish I could find it. But he's like, I'd like to thank myself for all the hard work. I'd like to thank me for doing all the things. Yeah, thank yourself. You work really hard. Absolutely.
John wants to know, does the giant doobie squeak? I think maybe.
Ooh, I bet
I don't
it's
know.
Good. Yes, absolutely. It should. Yes.
Eric says that bowl would be a pain to clean. I don't think it would be that bad.
Pain to clean. Cush ball. There you go. See, I would the novelty, but my dog would destroy it. It would have to be for me, not actually my dog, because I'd want to keep it. I wouldn't want to spend all that money on something and then
for your dog.
My dog would destroy it instantly. Yes.
Poor Nugget. This report sponsored by tax attorney Steve Moskowitz, who has put his tax knowledge to work for individuals and businesses alike. You can reach Steve at 888-TAX-DEAL or MoskowitzLLP.com. And I'm Kim McAllister on The Nikki Medoro Show.
Awesome. Okay, so I was going to get to the Snoop Dogg stuff. I have another fun thing towards the end. I'm going to play you a little bit of this newscast. And I just was laughing at the woman about it. So we'll get to that towards the end of the show. I was right, Kim McAllister, about Qatar, and the World Cup. I knew it wasn't going to work out. I just don't think that countries that don't support alcohol, should get big sporting events.
We support alcohol.
Go booze.
I'm a large supporter of the alcohol.
But I'm just saying that it does seem that if you're going to have a sporting event who had a long time alcohol sponsor, as in Budweiser, you would make sure that the places that you go to support your major sponsors. Yeah. And so now, I'll just do it right now. So now Qatar is no longer allowing any Budweiser. Because remember, I said they were going to do it in kind of these outside the stadium type places.
Right.
Now it's not happening at all. So here was FIFA's statement. Following discussions between host country authorities and FIFA, a decision has been made to focus the sale of alcoholic beverages on the FIFA Fan Festival, other fan destinations, and licensed venues, removing sales points of beer from the FIFA World Cup 2022 stadium perimeters. There will be I love this. There will be no impact to the sale of Bud Zero, which will remain available at all of Qatar's World Cup stadiums. I'm wondering if people will give me a Bud Zero, not having any understanding that there's no booze in it.
Do you think they had better luck in Dubai?
Possibly. I've heard it's a party town, but I mean, it's still, I don't know. I was asking somebody if Dubai was a fun place to visit, and they're like, they got a lot of money and kind of flash, but it's not all that great. I've never been, and that's not on the top of my list to visit at all.
The only thing I know about Dubai is that it's been featured on the Amazing Race. And it looks really fun on the Amazing Race. You can take dune buggies down sand hills. There's a lot of things to do. All of these giant skyscrapers. They have fun amusement-y things at the top of them. Bungee jumping on a skyscraper. These type of things. So perhaps, but I mean, I don't know. I still think when you go to a place like that, you can't forget that you are in the Middle East and things are different and it's not America.
Exactly.
And you go somewhere thinking, oh, they're open, they're okay. And then all of a sudden you end up busted. No, thank you.
Yep. Totally busted. I love this chat from Huge in Japan. I got super effed up in Dubai. I haven't been there. I mean, I have relatives and friends that have been there. JR, FIFA is more corrupt than the IOC, and that's saying something. Dubai is the Vegas of the Middle East. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Oh, and then here, I didn't know that this was happening. Who's this? Yeah, Lise. Snoop and Martha are the announcers for the Puppy Bowl. Snoop equals bowl. Yep, exactly. That'd be awesome. I love listening to Snoop Dogg to kind of basically announce anything because he's hilarious. He did something on Animal Planet and he was talking about like what the animals were doing. It was hilarious. The Wives of Dubai on Bravo. Is that actually a thing?
Really? I don't know, but that'd be really funny.
I don't watch any of those housewife shows, so that'd be news to me. I don't know if you're kidding or not. But yeah. Oh, I heard Lindsay Lohan lives there now. Okay. In Dubai, I'm assuming you mean. Oh, okay.
That's weird.
I mean, maybe
I have
it's
to
an
put this one
investment.
up because
I know,
it looks
saw
like
that one too.
Tanya just found us. See, that's the thing is when you leave one platform unexpectedly and go to another, you don't have time to tell people where you're going.
That's why you have to share with your friends.
Yeah,
there you go.
it's taken a lot of time for people to kind of go, oh, they're still going. They're still doing what they love. Yes,
Exactly.
Tanya, we are. Thank you for being here. Tell everyone you know so that the chance that they didn't know and that they maybe were listeners and they would love to have it back, then, let people know because we want to have you all along for the ride.
Exactly. And it's a fun thing that we do here. Yeah. We talk about all sorts of things, heavy things, serious things, funny things, techie things, food things. Again, another reminder, people, send me your food recommendations. It has to be down here in the South Bay, or in Petaluma, and Kim can do it. But I will have food delivered to my house and I will try it. I want it to be yummy, but
we have to
I don't
chalk
want to
the
eat
first
gross
one up
food.
as a fail, the Taco Bell fail.
And I blame Taco Bell. I don't blame my delivery driver. He or she's not going to open up my food and see that there's onions in my Enchirito, which I'm very disappointed about. So here's how it's cooled. And I knew it. There it is. I knew the minute I took a bite and I heard a crunch, they messed it up. Here's Matthew. That's my offering to you. I swear.
Hopefully we'll
all
have
right.
better luck with time too, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so I have I have about 15 minutes. Perfect. Okay, so I did want to get to this, and this was to go along with the story I was telling you about Brendan Fraser not being a hypocrite. Did you hear that Kevin Spacey, who I feel like is trying to make another comeback type of thing, he's still in trouble in the UK. So the UK authorities have authorized new criminal charges against actor Kevin Spacey, including 1 count of causing a person to engage in sexual activity without consent and 3 counts of indecent assault. The statement said the new charges are related to alleged sexual assaults against 1 man. He's already facing a number of charges in the UK. In May, they authorized those charges. His trial is supposed to start in June 6th of 2023. And yet, I don't know, sometimes I feel like we've kind of, because the case, what was it, Anthony Rapp? That case was kind of thrown out. So I feel like where there's a lot of smoke, there seems to be fire. But again, it seems like it's not enough consequences for Kevin Spacey. Now let's see.
I feel like he's done. I think his reputation
is
trash.
I think he's going to come back. No, I think he's totally going to come back. I'm going to say this. Amazing actor. I'm not taking anything away. I literally just watched American Beauty like a week or so ago. I hadn't watched that movie in forever.
He's a brilliant actor.
He's so good. But
sexual assault is not something I don't think you come back from.
What country do you live in?
The new America?
I want to live in your America. I want to live in your America. I don't think that we live in your America. So let's see. Rapp sued Spacey in civil court, but last month, the New York jury found Spacey not liable in the $40 million lawsuit. There was a massage therapist that accused Kevin Spacey of sexual assault, but that case was dismissed after the accuser died.
I guess if you can give Roman Polanski a Life Achievement Award after everything, you're right. That apparently we overlook sexual assault and horrible things in the name of art.
Yeah, I think that, on one hand, people are like, how can you still watch movies with him in it? I'm talking about Kevin Spacey because they're good movies. And again, I am definitely one of those people that, like it or not, in many cases, many, not all, I do separate the art from the artist. I can listen to a song and still in my mind think that guy was a sicko or that girl was a sicko. I know other people can't. Huge in Japan, he's like Bill Cosby. Yeah, he's a scumbag. Absolutely, that's what Yvonne said.
I don't see Bill Cosby making a comeback. I think the Kevin Spacey thing is about the same size as the Bill Cosby thing.
Bill Cosby is extremely popular in prison, and do you also know that Bill Cosby is not in prison?
Yeah, I do know those.
Bill Cosby is not in prison. Yeah. Bill Cosby caught on tape admitting what he did. Bill Cosby only out because his lawyer cut him a deal. Bill Cosby is not going to have a comeback because he's blind and he's old. But if he was still young, if Bill Cosby was still the Bill Cosby of before, hell yeah. And you want to bet dollars to donuts that if he had some sort of appearance, people would go. I think he already has had an appearance, if I'm not mistaken. So
see, I'm looking at different, like Will and the whole situation and the public outburst
you cut out the what thing?
Will Smith and the public slap.
Will Smith. Mm-hmm.
The kind of the display of anger in public like that, and how everyone backed away from him at the beginning. I think he can make a comeback from that. The comedian, I've forgotten the name, who exposed himself to women in rooms.
Louis C.K.
That's right. I knew you would know. I think you can make a comeback from that.
He already has.
He already has.
He's up for a Grammy. He is up for a Grammy.
But those people didn't commit a sexual assault of a violent nature.
If a guy comes in this house right now and whips it out and starts masturbating in front of me, I have been assaulted. My eyes have been assaulted. My body has been assaulted. Every part of me has been assaulted. And that is I don't care if he asks for permission.
But it's not like they put their hand. I mean, yes, it's awful, but it's not like they put their hands on you and physically attacked you. There's a difference.
Oh, it's so gross. It is so gross. And you know what, there's another Harvey Weinstein movie that's coming out. She said, I think Mark was talking, is it Michael Schur that does the movies? Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Michael Snyder. Yeah.
Michael Snyder. Sorry, I was mixing up the Michaels. But yeah, this story with Harvey Weinstein, this whole idea of masturbating in front of women, it's a power dynamic. And that's what Harvey Weinstein did. That's what Louis C.K. did. And it is an assault. It's not physical, like touching, like we were talking about before. But God, I mean, you whip it out, I'm cutting it off. That's all I'm going to say. Like, you do that to me, I don't even care. Awful, awful. And then there's one more assaulter story. Again, artist, R. Kelly. Now, it's not necessarily him. It's his ex-manager has been sentenced to 20 months in prison because apparently he was stalking one of R. Kelly's victims. The guy is Donnell Russell. He pleaded guilty in July to using threats, harassment, and intimidation to silence one of the women abused by Kelly, who was convicted last year on sex trafficking and racketeering charges, sentenced to 30 years in prison. If there's a guy that's finally due his comeuppance, it was that guy. Now, Russell's lawyers, the ex-manager, argued he should receive only probation, arguing that he's led an otherwise exemplary life before crossing the line in attempts to curry favor with R. Kelly. He was totally protecting R. Kelly, and it's the people that protected R. Kelly that allowed that asshat to continue raping and assaulting women for years and make money and put on concerts and release music and all those sorts of things. So, yeah, he's been sentenced to 20 months in prison, and that's exactly where he belongs. All right, I have two more stories to do before the end of the show. I want to squeeze both of them in. One, we were talking about, nostalgia and places like that. Blockbuster, there's a video-themed bar that is popping up in Los Angeles. I'm going to play you this because it's hilarious. This news report by this LA anchor, okay? Now, I want you to listen to it. She does a fine job. You could tell she's reading the teleprompter. But there's two things, really one thing that pops out. One, I bet you she's never been in a Blockbuster before. And then when she mentions a beverage at the end of her report, I literally laughed out loud. Here it is.
Make it a Blockbuster night. The iconic video store is coming back to life. Well, kinda. Next weekend, a pop-up bar officially licensed by Blockbuster will open its doors in LA off Melrose Avenue. The Speakeasy Bar is expected to give you a stroll down memory lane with those nostalgic VHS-filled aisles. There is also a themed menu featuring food and drinks from a bygone era like crystal clear Pepsi, and I'm actually not familiar with this beverage.
Zima.
Zima alcohol
yeah, it's
beverages.
like a sparkling. I think it was vodka based or something. I didn't drink it.
Okay.
Right. She didn't know what a Zima. If this chick didn't know what Zima was, she doesn't know what a Blockbuster video is.
What is she in her 20s?
She's like, I don't know what that is. What is that? It's like the early Trulies. It's the early White Claw. Zima is like the early all of that.
Zima a wine cooler.
It's not a wine cooler. It's like a malt. It's like a malt beverage. It's
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I've had
sparkling
one before.
malt beverage.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How do you not know that? I don't know.
Because you're 20.
Young. Yeah.
Because you're 20. And that's the whole thing. Like, she's reading this whole thing about Blockbuster, and in her mind, she's like, VHS. I'm like, I know they know what it is, but you've never probably held one in your hand, so I felt really old. And then finally,
it holds zero nostalgia for her. She was just reading the story to read it, right?
Well, Zima holds nostalgia for me. Zima, hold on. Let's see. Zima was a booze that got me suspended from high school one time.
Oh, so, Nikki Medoro.
I didn't drink it at school. I did not drink it at school, but it did get me suspended because I had it on my person. Yeah, I was bad. I was a really bad child. Terrible. So every time someone mentions Zima, my family always looks at me like idiot. And I'm like, I know. But again, I did not drink it. I only got caught with it. Zima got the appropriate roasting on the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Give me a drink that tastes like what I think beer should taste like. That's hilarious. Yeah. I heard of Zima, but never had one. I heard of Cisco wine coolers. They called them liquid crack. Yeah. Mad Dog 2020, Boone's Farm. I mean, come on. We all, maybe not Kim McAllister, but we all know what those were in high school. So, but speaking of booze, finally, New Year's Eve is not going to be as boozy, at least for a CNN correspondent. So, you know how Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper have been doing the New Year's Eve coverage? You'll remember, I'm going to play you a sound of Andy Cohen going off I think it was last year. And he was just hammered and going off on Bill de Blasio. Oh, here he is. Okay, this is Andy Cohen. I'm not going to play you the video because YouTube has it, but here he is. Oh, hold on. I got to turn the volume up.
Don't go on a rant.
Hold on. Let's start it.
Watching Mayor de Blasio.
He's hammered.
Don't go on a rant. Do his Don't go on a rant. Victory lap dance after 4 years of the crappiest term. The only thing that Democrats and Republicans can agree on is what a horrible mayor he has been. Wow. So, sayonara, sucker. I'm going to be standing right here next year. And you know what I'm not going to be looking at? Dancing as the city comes apart.
So I think Mark uses one of that sayonara sucker.
Sayonara sucker.
Yeah. That was Andy Cohen. He was, apparently Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper drink away, but you know who can't? Don Lemon. So apparently Don Lemon.
He was highly inappropriate last year.
So
he was sloshed and saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah, so I'm gonna be able to share this screen because this was not, at least I hope so, not on YouTube. But this isn't last year. This was in 2020, and he was giving an interview. I think that's Brooke Baldwin. But here is Don Lemon just hammered.
I don't really do it. I always live my life to the very fullest. And
yes, you do.
The thing is, I need a little bit more balance in work life. I may be open to a relationship this year. I wasn't before.
Breaking news: Don Lemon is open to a relationship.
Yeah. Actually, being available to be in a relationship. I'm a bad person to date. I'm not selfish. I'm not selfish. I'll give you my last, but I'm very self-centered. Yeah. I'm not going to be as self-centered.
You're going to be less self-centered in 2017.
Yeah. But I don't really do resolutions, and I live my life to the fullest.
Yeah, I think that's embarrassing. He had his ear pierced live. He did. I saw that comment. He was Lizzo. I think last year was Lizzo's interview, and she said that she didn't want any more, and I'm going to cuss right now, big dick energy, or she was giving up basically men with big penises but no money. I think that's what she was talking about.
Okay.
So, and then he kept saying big dick on the microphone.
I heard it. Yep.
Yeah, and he was got in trouble for that. So Don Lemon is cut off and will no longer be able to do New Year's Eve drunk.
He was last year with a bunch of scantily clad women as they danced, and he tried to dance too, and he was stumbling around like it was he wasn't even making sense. It was kind of getting embarrassing.
Yeah,
I will say, I agree with Yvonne. Andy, Cooper Anderson is really funny. When he starts drinking on New Year's Eve, Anderson Cooper, he starts getting this high-pitched giggle.
Oh, yeah. And he doesn't take shots very well.
Cracks me up.
Yeah. So it's fun to watch people let loose. And I think that's what's funny about it. Exactly, Karen. Drunken reporters are the best. But I think that when it's someone like Don Lemon who's trying to elevate his name, and maybe you just took it a bit too far. Like there's getting tipsy, and then there's making an ass out of yourself, and you don't want to cross over into making an ass out of yourself. So
when everyone's still talking about it a year later, you got a problem.
Maybe you just don't want to do that. All right, great show. I am not drunk. I just act like it on the radio. Someone thought it would get ratings. Yeah, probably. So click that thumbs up button before we end the show. Thank you to everybody that has been giving us some donations. Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank Jim Slayton, who gave a $4.99 super sticker. Mwah, mwah. Eric Kennedy with another $3 super sticker. Mwah.
Thanks,
and
guys.
all of you. You guys are amazing. I appreciate it. Kim appreciates it. Please, if you can, buy us a cup of coffee or two a month and become a monthly Patreon subscriber. You can find the link at NikkiMedoroShow.com, NikkiMedoroShow.com. It doesn't need to be a ton of money if you can't afford it, but just, a monthly subscriber really, really helps us. Sharing the show, giving a thumbs up, helps people find us. Like, I forget the woman's name that just found us. Welcome.
Tanya.
We are here.
Yeah.
Tanya, we are here. So let everybody know hello to all my Facebook watchers as well, because I finally learned how to stream everything on Facebook too. So everyone have a fabulous weekend. We will be here on Monday, so don't you worry. If you're going on vacation, be safe, be thankful, and I'll talk to you on Monday. Bye.
And take us along the ride on the
Go ahead. There you go. Don't want to cut you off. Go ahead. Take us along for the ride.
On podcasts. We're now on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. So if you're going somewhere on vacation, you think you're going to miss your radio show. We're here for you.
Look at you. Yeah, we're on Apple now. I think we just got up yesterday or the day before. So we're on the podcast. All right. Take it away, Jacob.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're proud, like a beautiful blossom. You're all so the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.
Good.